I wrote a poem called Old Town, which celebrates my hometown. Salford is, as you may well know, the place where the Manchester Ship Canal finished, and so Salford was always connected with the sea, although 35 miles inland. And as a boy, one of my abiding memories is seeing the big ships coming down the canal into the big city. Old Town, dirty Old Town, 35 miles from the sea, but from there to us, through the buttercup fields and the moss, the big ships crept and stepped up the great canal, trailing gulls, and believe you me, that was a sight to see. Dirty Old Town, smog in the mornings, the buses came like timid beasts being led by master, the bus conductor, walking slowly ahead. And when we came home, wide-eyed from the glittering Christmas pantomime, oh, the lamps had halos of rain. The big ships passed big as tenements through the placid cows in the fields, and there was a lock we could bike it to, where the jovial, idle, singing sailors threw us oranges down that were meant for market in the dirty Old Town. And courting couples rode home on the top of the number 9 bus from a Sunday walking out in the bluebell woods. Oh, armfuls of bluebells came down like streams from the slopes of the hills into the dirty Old Town. I'll read the title poem, which is Elder. Elders, in its etymology, seems to be cognate with eldritch, eld, and there's a pothole, in fact a vertical shaft in the Peak District near Castleton that I've been to several times, called Eldon Hole, so it's got associations of things which are, to say the least, spooky. But it's a tree I'm very fond of, elder. Because it lifts up and lays itself open to heaven, level, under sun or hail, and out of its warty tubes you can extrude the soft white marrow to blow darts down or finger your breath for pan. And because, if let, it will grace human habitations of a lowly and broken kind, shapes up nicely to its full, never-domineering height against a brick wall still standing, curtains a window hole, and altogether does well in places we have spoiled, abandoned developments, the backs we don't care who sees. And its smell is of the low sort, like hawthorn and rowan, rank, damp, very much to my liking. And because elder that is kith and kin with eldritch, eld, and that shaft into Hades near Castleton, gives twice, in summer and in the autumn, flowers and berries, and women who remember and have the mother's recipe at home in a stained book pluck up an adolescent courage and return to certain locky let go to ruin, old corrugated sheds, old bunkers, frightened trystings, and wade in deep through willow herb and Michaelmas daisies, and maiden themselves up again with the million cream florets, and redden their fingers with the black roe from the brimming, the overturning dishes of elder. How will they view us, the receiving angels, who perhaps find it easier when the dead are shipped in smoothly, head first, arms across the breastbone, smiling, as if all along this is where they had wanted to be? How will the angels receive our kind, who will be dragged in feet first, face down, hands far outstretched, the broken nails black with the dirt of some local habitation? A poem called The Wreck, which is short for recreation ground. It has an allusion in it to Heaney's sequence clearances and the chestnut tree that was planted at by his house when he was born, and then when the Heeneys left the house, it was cut down by the incoming purchasers. And Heaney actually uses a phrase, luminous emptiness, of the space left behind the tree when the tree had been axed and removed. And wonderful poems, though that sequence is. I object in a way to making do with a luminous emptiness. The wreck. Back home and finding the wreck gone, flogged off, become a gated community, CCTV in every hanging basket, and identical shaven-headed fat men aiming remotes, each at his own portcullis. How can I make of it a luminous emptiness, as Heaney did of his axed chestnut tree? It's a space stuffed full with hardware, loungers and meat. At 30 paces it lights up sodium white. Pit bulls prowl the wire. Or that man who stands at the bus stop all day long, and whatever number bus comes he never gets on, but tells everybody waiting, it was all fields round here when I was a boy. Day by day, more and more, he's me. I tell them Miss Eliza Smythe left the wreck in trust to the town in perpetuity for the health of children, her line dying out. It was an old enclosure, quick-set with hawthorn, and we lay there watching and waiting for our turn in a team game on the free ground under the open sky. Only the moon and stars lit up the wreck. Few still believed there was such a playing place. But yes, another elegy would be very nice, so remember all you like. Can we live on lack? Should have stopped them grabbing it, should take it back. Our Lady of the Blackthorn and the Snow. She arrived from a place she had found where there was still snow, and set up her stall of love that will never fail, in a place where there'll be no end of the need for dole. She stood in the dirt with her sign, the blackthorn branch, and finger-length were the thorns of her branch that never flowered in the cold where she came from. She stood barefoot by her stall, and the people queued in the heat for the dole. More and more they came, with their dead in their arms, to the head of the queue in the dirt. Her dole never failed, but what she desired in her heart was the place she had left that was cold. She feared for her snow. What hope in this world has snow? The queue came over the curve of the globe to her. Surely her thorn will flower in this heat for a day or so, and she will have nowhere to go.